So today on the menu, I'm making a fricasse of winter chanterelles in a pasta sauce. So I have some fresh winter chanterelles that were picked at my cabin. And we're going to start with, believe it or not, 3 tablespoons of butter. What I have here is clarified butter, so it's the milk solids have been removed. You also have to remember that not all fats are bad for you. This clarified butter, ghee we call it, is considered a good fat. So from here I'm going to add, I have a small onion that I've got chopped, so I'll add that to my butter. We're just going to let that come to a point where the onion is nice and soft. Next I have 3 cloves of garlic. I've got 2 here. I'm going to crush those in with the, I'm going to let that fry for just about a minute. I'm just going to lower the temperature because I don't want my garlic to burn. And then I'm going to be adding my chanterelles, my winter chanterelle mushrooms. I'm just going to give them a little chop, break them up a little bit. So it's that time of year when we have, hopefully you have some winter chanterelles or golden chanterelles sitting around, or maybe a good friend has given you some. I'm going to let that golden a little bit. As you can tell here, the chanterelles have kind of shrunken in size and they've fried to a point where they're a bit golden. So the next step is I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of white wine, or you could use vermouth. I'm going to pour that in here. I'm just going to let that simmer for a second. In the meantime, I do have a pot of pasta over here that I'm cooking. So the mushroom part is almost ready. I'm going to add a can of coconut milk. This is organic coconut milk, and I found this at Sobeys. So I'm going to put that in with the mushrooms. You could also use heavy cream. Stir that around. What I'm going to add to this as well is about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. There we go. It's going to be good. So I'm just going to let that simmer for a bit. And I also have to add to that is about 1.5 teaspoons of oregano. I didn't have any fresh, so I'm going to use the dried stuff, but I would assume it would be much better if you had fresh. So I'm going to bring that to a boil and just let it simmer a little bit so it can thicken. I'm going to also add some salt, so I have some Mediterranean sea salt here. I'd say that's probably close to 1 teaspoon. And I'm going to put a little bit of pepper, black pepper. So I'll let that simmer for a few minutes. So this has thickened up really nicely, and we're ready to toss the pasta in there. This is the hard part, trying to get everything mixed really well. So mushrooms actually are very good for you, and they're part of a group of foods that are considered anti-angiogenic. So what that means is that they prevent cells from growing. So this is great. It's considered an anti-cancer foods. So trying to incorporate some mushrooms into your diet is a really good thing. So it doesn't really matter what kind of mushroom. The little white button mushrooms that you buy at the supermarket are just as good for you. Okay, I think this is ready to go. If I had some fresh oregano, I would sprinkle some on top, but I don't. But what I do have is some fresh Parmesan. So I'm going to put a little bit of fresh Parmesan over that. maybe a little bit of fresh pepper.